Hey everybody, this is Jim, and I want to give you a brief video that gives an overview to our skills approach, which is the next unit for this week. We've wrapped up the trait approach, and now we move into the skill approach. And again, I'll give you a brief overview with the slides. I will post the slides so that you can use them or see what you need to as you work through the chapter and fill out your matrix. In the skills approach, the few key things that you want to understand are the skills approach perspective, and then the 3-skill approach CATS model, and then Mumford's skills-based model. So understanding how the skills approach works. So the skills approach is, again, like the trait approach, it's a leader-centered perspective. But now, instead of saying that effective leadership is certain personality traits and certain characteristics, it says effective leadership is certain skills and abilities that can be learned and developed. So if you think about that boss that was a leader, or when you were a leader, or a coach was a leader, were they a leader because of certain personality traits that they had? Or were they a leader because of certain skills that they learned? So what this research has argued, it's not a prescription that is a how-to to do leadership, but it is a description. They found in studying hundreds and even thousands of leaders that these were the skills that effective leaders had, and that effective leadership is learning and using these skills. So as you go to the process model that we use for the class, once again, this is a very leadership-centered model. Later we'll get to some follower and context ones, but this is a leadership one, and it argues that the process of influence, regardless of the context or who the followers are, the process of influence and the effective outcomes come because the leader uses certain skills. So as you're filling this theory matrix in, you're going to want to note some things from the book about the leader, the context, the process, based on the skills approach. So the 2 key models that you want to understand, the first one is by Katz, and he studied hundreds of business leaders and executive leaders and organizational leaders and found 3 key skills: technical skills, human skills, and conceptual skills that were a part of leadership. And then the description, the research showed that every level of leadership needed human skills, but that some supervisory was focused on technical and some upper management was more focused on conceptual. Now, technical skills, as it says, are kind of hands-on, process, technology, analytical abilities, specific competencies, tools, machines. Human skills, obviously, are people skills. And then conceptual skills are kind of the mental work of shaping the organization, its policies, its vision, its mission, its strategic plan. So, and what Katz found is effective leadership had all 3 of those skills at various levels. And then the other model is the one by Mumford, the skills-based model. And what Mumford did was, him and his research group, they studied 1,800 military leaders. And they saw particular competencies, skills that leaders had, but they also noticed that certain individual attributes or certain experiences and environmental influences shaped how well the skills approach worked. So again, they were looking at capabilities, not what a leader did, but the specific capabilities and skills that leaders had. And here's the model that they put it in, and they argue that leaders have 3 key skills: problem-solving skills, social judgment skills, and knowledge of the organization, that is enhanced and works better with these individual attributes, both intellectual ability. That crystallized cognitive ability is the ability to learn from experience, then motivation, then personality. And collectively, that plus these skills results in effective leadership, which they see leadership as solving problems and performing well. So In the competencies, there's problem-solving skills, and they identified 9. You can look through those and see that. There's social judgment, which is the ability to kind of take perspective of others, understand how the group functions, be flexible with behavior and adapt to people. And I think we all have known leaders that had kind of that skill to understand how the group functions and how people function and how they work together. That's the social judgment skills. And then the knowledge of the organization or the knowledge of the particular business or organization that we're talking about. They put that together with individual attributes, both intellectual ability, the ability to learn from experience, levels of motivation, and then personality. And you can see as those individual attributes were stronger, then the skills approach was even more effective. Now, this breaks down a little bit because to some degree, these individual attributes are a bit trait-like, a bit personality-like. It's a bit like the trait approach. It's not complete skills. It's more skills than not, but it is enhanced by individual abilities and motivation and personality. So they also added a couple of things. They noted that career experiences, which they defined as challenging assignments and mentoring and training and hands-on learning, that enhanced the use of skills, and then environmental influences, the ability to handle those. So in one leadership situation, we owned a coffee and ice cream shop, and there was a number of external factors that often influenced how well that shop ran, like the availability of different beans from different countries. That changed what kind of coffee we could offer. So the manager had to adjust, and that was learning to adjust to the external factors. So what they argue is that leaders have these skills. Those skills are enhanced with these individual attributes, but that effective leadership also includes some of these career experiences and be able to handle these environmental influences. So that is the skills approach. As you go through Nordhaus, you can note some of the strengths, some of the it provides a structure. It makes leadership available to everyone. You can look through those. There are some criticisms with it, and you can note that in Nordhaus as you're reading it. So, and then of course the application. It's very applicable to training the skills of leaders, to taking inventories of what our leaders know. But as you work through this unit now, this week you will be filling out your matrix. On the skills approach, you'll be posting in a discussion, and you'll also have a reflection where you get to kind of wrestle through. So is leadership more about the personality and traits, or is it more about the skills that you learn? And the skills that have been found in research, are there other skills to add? Which of those skills would you be strong in? And you'll get a chance to reflect on organizations that you've been a part of, jobs that you've been a part of, where there's been leadership, where you're able to kind of say, okay, was this person an effective leader because of their personality or because of these skills? And if it was the skills, was it the problem-solving skills or the social judgment skills or the human skills, the technical, conceptual? Where have you seen this effective leaders with these skills? And ultimately, what we're wrestling with is, okay, is leadership traits or is it skills? And as we look at leadership within an organization, can we see the skills functioning and seeing them functioning well? So, as always, again, if you have questions, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, jump into Nordhaus, use the slides. We'll look forward to your discussions and your reflection, and have a great week. Thank you.